What is the best example of a major cover-up backfiring?
The Soviet Union trying to say that Chernobyl wasn't as big a deal as it actually was.
Anyone mention Joe Michael Singer yet? And his rich daddy trying to use DMCA takedowns to remove images of his son violently assaulting 2 shop clerks. Every video that gets taken down, 3 more spring up.
Ex-UC Davis Chancellor Linda Katehi paid $175,000 to have the 2011 pepper spray incident removed from Google search results for the university, which brought the incident back into the public eye and was one of the scandals that eventually led to her resignation.
Putin becoming used in millions of memes because the Russian government tried to ban his likeness used in memes.
Same with the Chinese president and Winnie the Pooh.
Volkswagen and the emission dodging.
The crazy part of that story to me was always just how brazen they were about it. If you hear the quick summary, VW realized their system wouldn't pass the emissions test, so they developed software that detected when an emissions test was being conducted, and changed the engine's operation to a mode that was much less fuel efficient, but would pass the test. You would probably think the system was just being tweaked. Maybe normal operating emissions were 1.5x, or something like that, but since it was a scandal, maybe it was more like 3 to 5x? They couldn't have possibly designed a system that was too far off. They would have gone back to the lab if it was 10x, right? Nope. It was more like **40x*** the limit.
My colleague who sits behind me lies about her emissions too. I think she's on some broccoli and cabbage heavy diet.
One of the most shameful examples of corporate behavior in the last decade. And it wasn't just them. Mercedes and others had similar software cheats.
I guess the Streisand effect? For those who don't know, someone took a photo of Barbara Streisand's Malibu home and posted it online. The photo didn't get much attention until Barbara Streisand tried to have the photo blocked for the sake of her privacy. Upon hearing that Streisand wanted the photo removed, the image became forbidden fruit and was viewed millions of times across the internet. If she hadn't tried to cover it up, no one would have looked.
The best part is that the photo of Streisand's home was just one of thousands in a series of aerial photographs of the California coastline. The intent wasn't to photograph her home. Her home just happened to be in one of the spots that was photographed. Prior to the lawsuit becoming public, the image with her home had been accessed 6 times. And 2 of those were by her own lawyers.
This effect has been mentioned so much on Reddit today, now I finally know what it means. Yes, I'm too lazy to look it up.
Recent Polk County, Florida deputies losing, stealing, cash evidence, trying to cover it up, and getting fired.
Andrew Cuomo and the COVID nursing home death issue opened the floodgates for not just criticism of his leadership, but it removed the ability for him to retaliate against the peoples he's sexually harassed.
He's gone from a liberal hero to a pariah in a few weeks.
It's the price you pay when you put politics first. Absolutely nothing would have changed if he just recorded everything properly. Could have blamed it on oversight from the craziness of COVID and a less than stellar decision.
Tons of memes here, but does anyone remember the Beyoncé photo that her manager demanded be taken down? That worked well.
I actually don't know anything about this. What happened?
In 1974, Karen Silkwood was found dead, as a result of a car crash. Silkwood was a chemical technician and labor union activist who was about to reveal the safety hazards. Despite DG found on the scene, the police and coroner didn't believe the D claim and went looking for other likely others. After being informed about death threats from her family, the Atomic Energy Commission, and the state medical examiner found radioactive contamination in her body. This prompted an investigation at Kerr-McGee, the company Silkwood was talking about, which revealed the very problems that were about to be exposed to the media. Kerr-McGee had to pay up for what was done as they were held liable.
Sounds like the plot to Michael Clayton.
Man, I'm sorry, this sounds really interesting, but I cannot understand what you're trying to say. I think there is some confusion resulting from your comma placement. Also, there is missing information which makes it difficult to string everything together. Like, I don't understand what the D finding is all about. Didn't she die of a car crash? And I guess you're implying that the company killed her as a cover-up? But that's not really clear. I am genuinely sorry for being nitpicky. I promise I'm not being an asshole, and I'm not the type of person who points out others' mistakes for fun.
I'd describe Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein as perpetrators of massive cover-ups that backfired.
As of right now, the Epstein cover-up seems pretty successful due to the lack of indictments and convictions considering the alleged scope. I get that she was convicted and Ghislaine is in jail, but the amount of people alleged to be involved that are still on cable news networks, holding public office, etc. makes it seem to me as being pretty successful. Hopefully that changes.
True, still, Weinstein and Epstein lost everything and I hope Ghislaine Maxwell talks ASAP too.
Watergate.
The Soviets trying to cover up Chernobyl. And Reddit trying to cover up Amy Shanella being a pedophile supporter.
Epstein, still being swept under the rug, but there's definitely a lot more there. The response to COVID-19. PBS has a nice retrospective doc on YouTube detailing the evidence that the Chinese government knew that had a new SARS-like virus among the public, and all of the lengths they took to forbid any information being shared about it, mostly because they didn't want to cause any public panic. Obviously a backfire as it led to the massive poo show that was 2020.
The first time I heard about COVID-19 was from a viral video posted by some everyman Chinese doctor in a hazmat suit. I didn't hear any news about it until a few weeks later. Amy Challoner.
Wait, do you mean the Amy Challoner that has absolutely no problems with pedophilia and the Amy Challoner that married a pedophile? Is that the same Amy Challoner that is removing posts about her because she doesn't like criticism? Keep in mind that's Amy with 2 E-S, and her last name is actually Channelor. I can imagine how Amy Challoner wouldn't want the name Amy Challoner plastered all over Reddit, but what Amy Challoner doesn't seem to understand is that removing all posts referencing the name Amy Challoner only leads to more people asking about what's the matter with Amy Challoner, which would not be beneficial to Amy Challoner because it turns out Amy Challoner is married to a pedophile. I don't like people who are p-children. Amy Challoner apologizes with people who are p-children. Therefore I don't like Amy Challoner.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.